lower bracket. So NAVI, it really depends on how they start to be able to ride that momentum. So I'm thinking SYNCRONIC has just been a little bit more consistent than what NAVI has done. And plus, I think NAVI's one kryptonite for sure is SYNCRONIC, as they have just not performed as good against a team like SYNCRONIC than other teams that they faced. So let's see, as Stars starts off with the king to the left, the blimp to the right, and then that will set up that Royal Champion charge to path her way right through the middle.
Stars has scored 2 triples out of the 3 attacks he's done so far in this tournament and is looking to return this time in the driver's seat as the very first attacker. A bit unusual for Stars, who usually is one of the clutch attackers in the later lineup. But how do you think his Spirit Fox dive is going so far? He's kept her looking real clever to live, but does miss the Fox there, unfortunately. He's going to have to drop those invises a bit faster now, Carbon.
But Stars has made a mistake here, Woody. And the mistake is, look at the king. And look next to the king at the bottom. There's no pet. He mistakenly forgot to put a pet on his king. And so a Phoenix, which is on the mini prince, that's probably why he took it off the king, put it in the mini prince, not thinking about putting something else onto the king. So let's see if that plays a factor in this. Granted, it wasn't a Phoenix, which means he wouldn't have been able to come alive at all because the mini prince has it. But the Royal Champion is continuing her way in towards the core. Will be able to grab these multis. Nope, never mind. He can only grab one. No, not even one of them. Uh-oh.
What a heartbreaker. That is just a really unfortunate miss. And, I mean, we've seen players being able to get 3 stars with plenty of troops still left, but an entire pet missing is just a big omission for Stars. And hard to imagine that if he is able to pull off a victory here, that it will be, you know, decisive. It's going to be by the skin of his teeth if he can still make this happen.
Yeah, with that poison now onto the Headhunters, out of the Clan Castle, a Warden ability to help protect, hanging on to that Minion Prince ability as well. But look, the multis and the raid spell were probably meant to go down from the Royal Champion, which means that the Dragons not only are going to get targeted by the defense, but also additionally have to fly over this area, which will pull additional traps.
This is just a heartbreaker for Stars. A distraction now for half of his dragon army pathing to the middle, and they don't even get the multis down. Defensive Minion Prince is going to hold on to that compartment, and it appears that that is just going to be too difficult for him to reach by the end of this raid. Baby Dragon for a little bit of additional cleanup along the outer edge. He's got a lot of percentage, so at least Navi can be happy about how things have gone so far. And I mean, the Dragons are still healthy. We don't want to count this one out just yet.
Well, with that Minion Prince still trying to move through, he does have, wait, I was going to say the Phoenix. Yep, there it is. Does have the Phoenix coming in. True, but at the time, though, only 10 seconds. He won't be able to make it through. The Royal Champion was supposed to take those
and
down.
Distraction traps.
Yeah.
That is just horrible to have to see. A 2-star.
General X, the captain of this team, is up, and he's also bringing a dragon attack. And the approach for this one is to use the 3 clones with that battle blimp. So wherever that blimp is going to land, you pair in 1, 2, 3 clones, and then that 3rd clone is leading to the town hall to try to launch the Yetis to the town hall and clear the middle of the base and the town hall compartment.
Giant Arrow, a bit of an unusual pick in a meta where players have been preferring to use the action figure, and yet General X is going to chop right through the core. Like a hot knife through butter, that arrow flies straight from the bottom up straight to the top. Mass Dragons are a fearsome army, but he's allowed quite a bit of damage to come in against them. Fortunately, that Skeleton spell, though, soaking all the shots from the Monolith, was a great opportunity to protect. General X pops the Eternal Tome and will now see CC troops coming on out. There's going to be a Furnace in there. A little bit of bad news for him as he didn't bring a Poison Spell to be able to deal with it, but the distraction is not going to hurt too much as the Yeti's popping out and getting cloned right over the Town Hall. Should get some amazing work done on the interior. Misses the Multi-Inferno over there on the left side, though. Needs those Yeti Mites to finish it off, and he does get it.
Come on, Town Hall goes down. Nice.
There
You
it
saw
is.
how those clone spells were paired to line up towards the Town Hall to secure that. And that's why he purposely dropped the blimp before the Town Hall compartment so he can remove that section with the regular Yeti Mites, and then the cloned ones can remove the further section of the Town Hall and the Inferno. As he's trying to continue his way through the space with the Royal Champion ability and an Invis, he's just taking his time to try to find the best possible spot to pop the Royal Champion ability. Let's see, as he has to go through 2 bomb towers, which are towards the edge. Tassels are here, but with this Royal Champion and her ability, this can be clutch, moving through, and 1 invisibility spell left.
He needs to use it at the perfect moment. Now he's getting a loss of the minion prince. Archer Queen still looking very healthy behind her, though, and she's got another healer to try to get them both knocked off. Invisibility is down. He's going to target onto that Archer tower first. Gets it down, and with Sneezy up top, it looks like he's got it. He is celebrating General X for the triple. Finds a beautiful start in record time. Look at that, just barely over 2 minutes. Incredibly fast finish. And the
3 stars he's been coming in with, but this is one of the most important ones to deliver here when your team is down by a triple. Let's see, as the Royal Champion charges his way in towards that monolith, we'll have 7 more invises to invest for this RC before he decides to recall her back.
Happy to catch the skeleton trap there, but loses the Spirit Fox early on. Bad news. This was a baited entry, and the defenses from Mark are going to trigger plenty of traps. He does get an attack on the Town Hall, and we'll take it down. Lots of invisibility invested, though, by Klaus.
Yeah, he did have to invest more invises to the right, but he did also have to go with that rage spell, and now he won't have the rage spell for the main push with these Root Riders. But he did secure the Town Hall, got some nice value, but continuing around. So the Tornado Trap was purposely placed to try to stop a Royal Champion charge, as Tessels were down in that area as well. King placed to the bottom. He's going to run his way to that right side and then up. Where is he going to drop the Siege Barracks? Is it going to be all the way to the far right side to help with funneling? But the Queen, she is going off to the left. She's liking the outside buildings and not following his Root Riders, which is going to be a huge problem for Klaus.
This is just devastating on multiple different fronts. Klaus has been trapped and baited. Mark's base building is so tricky to deal with, and it seems now that he's just going to be having to go for percentage. Frozen up yet again, and now he's got fire spitters, expos, archer towers plinking away at him from every single angle. Little bit more help from the Royal Champion moving on in, but look at that. The Grand Warden almost down and out. Such a crucial support troop for a raid like this, and to lose him means that you are going to see those Root Riders falling soon after. They're popped by a Giga Bomb, and that is going to be the end of the raid. Klaus is just left reeling from an extraordinary defense by Synchronic. Twice in a row now they've held the best at bay, and it seems like the reigning world champion Synchronic will have a field day in the early war.
It is early in this war. We still have plenty of attacks to come in. 4 more for Synchronic, so anything can happen. 1 stars. You don't want to wish a 1 star upon anybody, but we've seen it this weekend, and it's derailed teams and allowed others to make that comeback, as Klaus is pushing up in towards the 90%, which means any fail that comes in from Synchronic still keeps Navi in it, as long as it's not going to be a 3-star from Synchronic. Unfortunately, Klaus not able to get it. He's not happy, but it's not a 70, it's not an 80. It's a good percentage to be at if you're going to be failing an attack.
It's just, I don't think that they can stand to lose again after stars already.
His attack was one of the lowest ones that Synchronic has seen, and he's going to have to turn it around and deliver here. And Navi is hoping that something goes wrong in this Royal Champion charge. It all comes down to if Klaus's base has trapped anything for this entry down here.
Slow and steady so far. Royal Champion just giving over the first walls. They've been hurdled and will be able to take down a multi-target archer tower. Pop from the Spirit Fox will keep her safe, even as more Hellfires raining down against them. That's going to be some splash damage against that poor Spirit Fox, and Seemed like a little bit of an early deploy there. Oh, again,
Uh-oh.
he's getting a little bit aggressive on these invisibility spells and not able to finish off that multi-inferno.
Yeah, that multi remains up. He just needs something to touch it. I feel like it's got 1 HP left as the roots are now falling behind an Ice Golem. Probably a I was going to say a Spring Trap right by the Tesla. No Spring Trap there. Ice Golem dies off, freezes up the geared up cannon as he continues his push through. More balloons are going to try to help protect these healers as the War Internal Tome goes off, protects everything as he's pushing right through this Town Hall as he deploys the King and the Ice Golem to the bottom side.
And it's just a massive amount of damage, Carbage. And look, we've got raged up Fire Spitters and multi-target Infernos. What else could Klaus have done to try to discourage an entry point like this? I don't know. And yet Leo is just going to take it right up the gut and go straight into the Crucible. He is applying a massive amount of pressure on the bottom side, still holding on to a few different spells now as that Overgrowth is going to wear off in the core of the base. Invises his own troops, trying to protect some of them, but there will be other targets for those defenses. Spiky Ball pops out now, and all he has left in terms of hero abilities is the Archer Queen.
And with that Queen ability still intact, the Giant is there, which from the action figure, it'll be wait to be spawned. But the Monolith remains barely up as he does have the Skeleton spell trying to distract it. Pops the Queen ability now. Giant will trigger the Giga Bomb as the Monolith goes down. 2 Super Barbs left, but this is the defense that Navi was hoping for. He won't be able to make the push through. That multi on the backside is barely up, and this is the lowest percent. I already said at the start here, Leo unfortunately fell quite a bit short in his previous attack, and that is going to be a difference maker if Navi can 3-star next. Navi still got Gaku, Yada, and Kazuma to attack. The 2 fails that came in from Navi was a 91 and a 97. So right here, the war can completely shift and change if a 3-star comes in for Navi. Or Navi, and you deliver a 3-star, and you're looking to take the advantage. Because right now, take a look at the percentage. After the 2 attacks from each team, Navi is currently sitting in the lead, 37.6 to a 36.6, 1% total destruction more for Navi at the moment. As we are seeing now Yada push in towards the right side, so a 3-star from Yada here will be 100% in the lead. Even if SYNCRONIC were to get a triple, it would be still a lead of percentage, but SYNCRONIC obviously would have the star lead since General X did get that earlier triple. So a lot of pressure is here as Yada pulls back that Royal Champion, and the roots are now down.
All right, it looks like he got what he wanted out of that Spirit Fox assault. He allowed that Monolith to pop off once against the Spirit Fox, and 2 Giant Bombs almost killed it. But he does keep it barely alive, and that's good news for fans of the pets out there. Meanwhile, this is going to be a massive army charging into the core of the base, and I would expect an Eternal Tome soon because that's going to be a lot of splash damage dishing off against all of these forces. Waits for them to spread out a little bit, and we'll be able to distract the Ice Golems going over on the top side out of the CC. Fortunately, Yada also brought a Poison spell, and it's going to be getting that enemy furnace down, as well as all of these little skeletons that have been popping up. He's got a massive army now, but they are all concentrated on the bottom lane, and it's going to be up to the heroes to try to crack in over those walls and get some more work done against the key super tall defenses, including that multi-gear tower, plinking away at every tall target that it can lock onto.
And Yada decided to put Ice Golems in that troop launcher, which launched these Ice Golems slowly out into this army, trying to freeze things up. As the Royal Champion continues, her abilities have already been popped here now, moving through this backside. The King, the Queen, both have their abilities with 6 Super Barbarians left. It's up to the heroes to be able to clutch through the backside with 1 more Invis and Rage for his Royal Champion. Does he decide to Invis and Rage up the RC to get through this section here?
He might just do it. He's going to pop the Invis. Lost his healer on the backside to a Black Bomb, but is not going to commit the Rage spell just yet, not feeling like he's got enough firepower there to justify that spend. Instead, he's going to hold it for the King and the Queen, still on the backside of the basin with a lot more work left to do. But as long as he can power through these defenses, that CC is not going to put up any defensive force at all. It just is a matter of time if he can get over these walls. Yada looks to be able to get it done. He snuck in some Super Barbs on the backside, and that's going to be it. He scored the triple.
And Yada delivers here for Navi, and now bringing them back into this match. And that's what I'm saying. And all they need is to be able to
2% out of his first attack, a 2-star 96% out of his second attack, and a 2-star 88% out of his third attack. We have yet to see a triple from him, and he knows that this is the moment that his team needs it most to survive.
We're seeing a E-Dragon to the left. I don't see the E-Dragon getting too much. Oh, no. The arrow of the Queen flies all the way off to the right side of this base. The E-Dragon didn't grab that much value to the left. The Queen didn't get much value with that arrow. So he's got the 9 dragons to send in. He tried to, like, maybe funnel to eventually send a Royal Champion in, and there she is. She's going to be running right in towards this left side into that multi. And Earthquake's the Town Hall so that he can try to take that section down.
This is still a bit of an awkward entry. He catches a few more key defenses here and is going really deep into the base. In fact, he might even get the lock of the Town Hall. That thing is going to be going down. So at least he has got a little bit of comfort in knowing that he's done a lot of damage to the interior here. Ice Golem pops, and man, if he had brought a recall, that would be a great time to pull her out. But instead, he is just going full hog with this Royal Champion. Loses the Spirit Fox, and that means he's going to have to be dropping these invisibility spells every 4.25 seconds. Indeed, he still does have a lot of key targets on the inside to catch, and with the Fire Spitter going down, now he's going to be able to get a multi-Inferno as well. What else can he find, Carbon?
Well, he's still pushing through to the defensive range spell, taking that down, and the last invis was invested, but it didn't get anything there as the RC has died off. And the Stone Slammer's coming to the left as a Tassa Farm is there with a Wizard Tower, as the dragons are placed all the way to the far right side. You can move into the defensive Queen, pops that early Warden ability, and the Super Dragon is unfortunately getting distracted onto the King from that Stone Slammer.
You may be saying to yourself, there's hardly any base left. What is he worried about? Well, there's hardly any offense left either. He's committed all of his spells. He's popped every hero ability. He only has a few more troops left in his army comp to add to this base, and there's still quite a lot up on the top side. He committed a massive investment with that early dive, using the Royal Champion to take out as many key defenses as he could. But I just don't think it was going to be enough in the end, Carbon.
No, even if this is a 99%, they will be down in this match after the first 3 attacks. To think that they started off with that triple, and now the war has completely changed to the other side, where Navi will have this lead with 85%, and at this point, Navi's percentage is starting to creep higher and higher, whereas SYNCRONIC would have to get that star advantage back in order to try to win this war. As Philip is not happy as these dragons split in different directions, not getting the value. The question is, did he have the wrong pets on his heroes? Didn't get all that value. I guess we'll have to ask him eventually at one point to find out, but unfortunately it is only an 88% 2-star. He's not liking this, as this war is now tied tone and get another 3-star, and he's definitely capable of doing it as the Raw Champion coming into the bottom side. Going to move in towards these defenses, and then we'll look to pull that Raw Champion back with that recall spell.
Drops another invis. Great to invis enemy defenses that are almost already down, especially when your Royal Champion's rocking those Electro Boots and can just finish them off with the chip damage. Instead, retargets onto more crucial defenses that have more hit points and can stand to take even heavier blows. Gaku is taking a lot of time on this initial charge, and just like the attack we saw before, does commit a lot of invisibility spells to this assault, but unfortunately has lost his Spirit Fox now, and the recall is not going to be able to save that little pet. Does get quite a bit of damage done up against the left side of this base, and sets up for a beautiful entry point for these Root Riders now.
The nice thing is he pulled the Tornado Trap with that Royal Champion, so he won't find it with his Root Riders, as they are going to push their way towards the bottom side Spitter, and then eventually towards this Town Hall. Pops an early ward ability as a Clan Castle comes out with some Ice Golems and a Furnace, as he does now try to pair in a Skeleton spell onto the Monolith, but it was too late. The King is getting hit and taken down by that Monolith now.
Eternal Tome did catch a Giant Bomb, a Ricochet Cannon, multi-target, Inferno, the Town Hall firing away, and the CC. So good timing on that. A lot of incoming DPS was mitigated thanks to that. And he still has pretty strong pathing, I'd say, on these Root Riders, all keeping them well clustered together thanks to the drop of that overgrowth. He's going to trigger the Giga Bomb with his Royal Champion now, so at least the main bulk of his army is not going to have to worry about that. But that does leave a bit of an awkward spot over on the left side where any heroes are going to be tough for the Root Riders to deal with. He needs that Archer Queen to loop around fast and to help out with the rest of this raid, but I'm not sure what he's got to make that happen. It just, I'm looking back now, and I don't see where the raid is. It seems like he's only got 1 or 2 Root Riders, 0 Root Riders left now.
Yeah, they're all gone as he tries to get as much percentage as possible with 6 Super Barbs left. Everything kind of path away, especially once that king got locked down by the Monolith. He got taken down so quickly and wasn't able to get more value around the right side. But he's still pushing with these Super Barbs, and the Queen's ability needs the Giant to get out in front of the Queen to help tank through the scatter shot. The defensive king is off to the left, yet he's trying to get through him. They're dying off, but do secure that multi-archer tower. And this one is just going to be the 2, but it is going to be a high percent 2 in the 91% here.
All right, well, a little tiny bit of breathing room now for Synchronic, recognizing that there has been expect to see him be the linchpin of this mid-late war, as Synchronic needs their 4th attacker now to find the 3-star and get the lead back from Navi.
Fireball is his plan. He loves to do it. He's so good with it. Let's see his Warden set up the funnel, and then Fireball, what looks to probably be, well, I wouldn't guess the Clan Castle, but notice he does have a poison spell. And a tornado trap to the bottom side there. And Earthquake, Invis. So it's going to be an early Fireball to remove the section. And he's not going for the Clan Castle. And then what else is he going to do? Ooh,
yeah, I mean, it surprised me too that he didn't drop over there, but I guess he does have the Battle Blimp for that instead. It's going to be able to pop right overhead. And with the troops coming out now, ought to be able to take down the Monolith and that multi-gear cannon. CC pull is going to be good, and with the poison spell on top, he's going to be able to take down that Furnace and all the other troops that are coming out of there. But this is certainly a 300 IQ play if he pulls it off. A weapon of mass destruction on the bottom side of the space, and that Grand Warden has been so effective in his hands before. Can he keep the pressure up, Carbon Fin?
Oh, he was not able to keep that Unicorn alive, which would have benefited this Warden quite a bit. Too bad he didn't use that Skeleton spell, because that benefit of the Unicorn and the Warden with these healers would have been nice, but he decides to, he sends the Warden in with the Queen, so they're going to benefit of working together. Many times we've seen the Warden stay solo, and then the King and Queen work together on the opposite side of the base, so he's switching it up. Queen is going to be able to pull the Warden's assistance, and the nice thing about doing that is the Rage Gem of the Warden's going to benefit all this push to the right side.
His superpower is family. Send in those heroes together and they will synergize. Einstein's sneaky Barbarian King crawling behind enemy lines, pops his Earthquake boots and will stab right into the core of this base. Almost finishes off that multi and does do so with a sneaky Rocket Loon assault. Einstein's dual heroes on the bottom side now going for the long-range shot against the Town Hall to score the 2nd star, but a lot of work still needs to be done and only a minute left to do it. Einstein's fingers need to start flying over this screen, Carbon Fin.
They really do. The Minion Prince is down with the Ice Hound. Skeleton spell to distract.
Yes.
He's moving his way into the Rocket Loop to the left side to help take that down. The Ice Hound pops. He's only got 40 seconds left. The Queen's going. The Minion Prince is going. With a Rage and a Freeze left in the bag, can he push through?
I sure hope he can. It would just be an incredible feat to watch. He finally has deployed everything in the rest of his army. Just 2 headhunters left in that army camp. But the Queen is going down to not get any protection out in front. And the Minion Prince is being shoved around. 18 seconds left, and it looks like that crucial core of the base is just too tough of a nut to crack. Einstein sitting in the middle 80% is trying to climb higher, but the 3-star is out of range. Defenses for Gaku will hold, and Navi have just been impenetrable ever since. Kazuma is a stone-cold killer and ready to deliver the final blow. Put that last nail in Synchronic's coffin, but anything short of that 3-star, and Synchronic can sweep it back, Carbon.
So, Woody, here's the critical information. if Kazuma gets a 77% 2-star, then Mark will have to go for the triple. Or because even a 99% for Mark would not be enough. So if he's below a 77, then Synchronic can still win on a 2-star 99% essentially.
Yeah.
So essentially, Kazuma is this close to forcing Synchronic to have to triple to win, as the Raw Champion is in the core, clearing the defensive rage spell, continuing with 6 more invises, triggers the Giga Bomb, and the value from this RC is so much in this core.
That Spirit Box is just so fragile, though. Loses her again to those traps. Kazuma awfully deep into space, and man, is he getting massive value from this RC. But she is just about to be finished with what she has got. Tossing a few more spears up into the sky and trying to take this Minion Prince down. That's more good stabs, as you don't want to have to deal with a Minion Prince when you're playing Mass Dragon.
Okay, but the problem is, this is risky. Look, he's got no blimp for this Town Hall. It could very well be a 1-star if something happens to these dragons, as he's got a Minion Prince, a Warden, and an Eternal Tome. We've seen plenty of attacks before get so much value with the Raw Champion charge, and then just completely disappear out of nowhere. But that Minion Prince is now placed as these dragons are flying their way to the bottom side. This War Eternal Tome with a rage spell is going to be clutch, and those Rockaloons were able to help funnel and take out the air defense as he's now moving his way towards this Town Hall.
I thought he might try to keep that set of Rockaloons as a security blanket, but he's invested everything in this attack and needs some dragons to go into the core. There they are! 5 of them lock on. 1 goes down, but they're still protected by the Grand Warden, breathing fiery destruction. And they have surpassed that percentage point. That means that Synchronic would need a triple to pull it around. But if they lose this base, it's all over. Kazuma has deployed everything. Is it going to finish off for the 3-star?
He's moving in. There's a lot of dragons here. The biggest threat is that multi-archer tower. He pushes through that. There's a Sig Air Mine. The left side dragon goes down. He's working through the multi-archer tower. The Minion Prince comes back to life with the Phoenix.
Pushing through from the ashes. The Phoenix revives the Minion Prince for a few more shots, and Kazuma isn't showing it on his face, but he has just secured another placing for NAVI, victorious over the reigning world champions.
Einstein in 85 and then Philip in 88. So it's the difference of the 2-stars. That is the name of this war, as Mark is now trying to just deliver a 3-star, but unfortunately, it won't be enough.
Heartbreaking moment to have to send in such a skilled player. Mark has been amazing this month. Scored a triple following up General X's previous performance to win that last war. And I mean, I think that there was a surprise even among the casters when he didn't get, that full MVP recognition. Or wait, maybe he did. I can't recall. Anyways,
he did.
He did get the MVP spot. Yeah. But yeah, an MVP from Synchronic, a reigning world champion. It's just gonna be a masterclass for us to watch this last attack here, Carbon.
Yeah, as Mark is pushing through with the roots. Fortunately, gonna have to encounter the Clan Castle of the Ice Golems here, moving the Queen towards the bottom side. On the outside of the Root Riders at the moment, but still has the King and the Siege Barracks as he pairs in that Warden Eternal Tome, protecting everything. And these balloons are pulling the traps, including the Air Skellies, as he's making his way around. No overgrowth to use, so it's going to be about the push for these Root Riders through this backside into that monolith.
Siege Barracks over on the bottom left is spitting out plenty of troops and helping out with that funnel, keeping all the troops on the inside and ensuring that the Barbarian King can still chop through what remains on the outside. Interior of the base has got a lot of heavy hitters, though. Minion Prince and the Barbarian King sitting right next to each other, supported by that multi-gear cannon, are just plinking away at every key attacking troop that comes within range. Mark is trying to power through on the backside and still has a couple more hero abilities left to use, Carbon.
Yeah, with that King and Queen ability still intact, 5 Super Barbarians to sprinkle around the edge to try to help protect the heroes as he's making his way around into that defensive Queen. Headhunter We have a Tesla, Ground Expo, Multi-Arch Tower still up to the top side of this base. Queen's probably going to burn ability right now through the enemy Queen. There you go. And he can save this King ability for as late as possible, as the Queen is going to be able to get some nice value still through the wall. There's the King Spiky Ball, skips across, and about 40 seconds left. It's looking like Mark will deliver a 3-star if he's got enough time to still push to the top.
Yeah, plenty of time here now. 32 seconds and only 7% of the base left, and especially with Sneezy able to get over those walls and do quite a bit of supersonic damage. I think that Mark can go out with his head held high. Synchronic has scored a triple, and it is a 12-12 tie on stars. The NAVI are ahead on percentage.
NAVI taking it home, a 97, 91, 91 versus the 83, 88, and an 85. And that was the name of the game. Just when you fail, it's got to be higher percent.
Vatic Esports and NAVI are the last two teams on the bottom side. In that elimination spot, one team will be kicked out, whereas one team will get a chance to move back up. But is it going to be Vatic Esports, a team that Dizzy has already defeated, or will it be NAVI, a team that Dizzy's sister clan Dizzy Group defeated? Either way, Dizzy's still looking very good here, guys.
Dizzy is looking very strong as the winner of this.